I'm happy that I'm able to participate in today's function where we have recognized an achiever at the lowest level and is trying to come up, Mr. Balasaheb. As I was hearing the question and answer session, I was thinking whether the reform should start from bottom or from above. I entered Lok Sabha in 1967 when I was 27, 28 years old. I find a lot of change. Economically, we are growing. Morally, we are declining. I don't know why it is happening. In those days, the ceiling of expenditure by Election Commission was 5 lakhs of rupees per parliament. In 1967, the party gave me 4,000 rupees. I received a check for 4,000 signed by late Anna, and I spent another 45,000. It was only 50,000 rupees I spent to become a member of parliament. That was in 67. 71 election I spent about 1 lakh or 1.5 lakhs. Today, the ceiling is 40 lakhs for a member of parliament and 16 lakhs for members of the assembly. Very rarely a member can spend that amount and go to parliament. All of them file a statement, an affidavit, after election, saying that they have spent less than 40 lakhs. If they really tell the truth, there will be no parliament. All of them will be disqualified. There will be no parliament, no government. This is the situation of the country, of our democracy now. Such people make laws, and it is binding on all of us. Those who have declared all falsehood, they make the government, they make the law, and we have to accept it. This is the fact of life. He was mentioning about how to make reforms, changes at the lowest level. Unless you have good leaders, say for example 50, 60 of them at the cabinet, at the ministry level in Delhi, another 28 chief ministers, it is not going to be possible to do anything honestly in the country. Anna Hazare's movement is now 3 years old. It is 3 years old, the agitation is there, some kind of awareness has been created. But I find corruption has not been eliminated in any organization anywhere in India, maybe in some small levels, such village levels. And we are trying to legalize and legitimize it. And this is the situation which exists. How are we going to eliminate? And people, when they amass wealth, they keep it in outside the state or in somebody's name. If they want to be very safe, they shift it outside the country. And we do not know how much money is outside accounts. Nobody is able to predict it. No economist of this country is able to tell us how much money is outside accounts. Probably we are the most leading nation in the world. Balasaheb was telling that all the parties are joining together, etc. It is possible, because when somebody comes and threatens, they may join together also. It is possible. But we have to make a change. The 2014 election is coming now. We have an opportunity to change. And I think the people have already decided for a change. I hope the change is going to be for the better. And daily we see projections in televisions, various kinds of projections are being made, predictions are being made. I am not going to that. But I would very much like the youngsters to take it to your heart, take it to your mind, that a change should come in India. When Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister, I was there for 10 years. In Parliament, she was the Prime Minister. There was never a charge of corruption against Indira Gandhi. There was the bitterest critic. Ram Manohar Lohia was present in Lok Sabha. He will attack her even on small points. Even he never made any attack except that he used to mention the mink coat and the necklace, which was given to her somewhere outside the country, which was not brought into the Tosha Khana. That was the only charge which you have heard against her in the last 10 years, under 10 years. And there was no minister against whom any charge was pending, any charge was made. You just compare the situation now. Maybe a few of them can escape. The rest of them are all under clouds, all under charges of corruption. How are we going to face this situation, eradicate this situation? And unless some kind of total revolution, I remember Jayaprakash Narayan used to talk about total revolution. And Balasaheb is mentioning about political parties. He was the only leader who was talking about partyless democracy in India. But somehow he also could not explain how a partyless democracy could function. In our constitution, political party never finds a place anywhere. It is not mentioned in the constitution, but it controls the constitution. It makes the constitution. It amends the constitution, political parties. And it is not ordinary political parties here. Number is so huge. Nowhere else in the world we have more than 1,300 political parties, registered political parties. That's one of the reasons for the ills of the country. You take any big democracy, they have only 2 or 3 parties. US has only 2 parties. UK has only 3 parties. Germany has only 3 or 4 parties. And again, it requires maturity on the part of political parties. Because democracy is by dialogue. I don't know how many of you follow the democratic governments formed, etc. In Germany, recently there was election. Both the Christian Democrats and the Social Democrats fought each other. They were in the same government another 4 years before. It was the same situation. The ruling party and the opposition sat together, and in the interest of the nation they formed a government. Angela Merkel became the chancellor, and she gave a more number of ministers to the Social Democrats, and the government was formed. After 4 years, again they went back and fought the election independently. Again, the result was that nobody got a majority. Same thing happened. They took 1 week to negotiate with each other. Something like DMK, ADMK talking to each other to form a government, or something like Congress and BJP talking to each other to form a national government. It has been formed and it is working now. It shows the maturity of political parties and political leaders in that country. Is it going to happen? Can it happen in India? I don't know. Because I see that such a situation may happen after some time, not immediately. Corruption has to be rooted out. Always people talk about education, I know, because everybody thinks education has become commercialized. We want education free from corruption and capitation. If you want to start a school, you will have to get a license. There it begins. If it is medical, you will have to pay, go on paying every year, every visit. This is the kind of corruption we have in education. So there is no department, no organization left out. And it has eaten into the vitals of this country, corruption. And it is time now that we think about this. At least those who occupy high positions should be free from personal corruption. I hope it is going to come. and let us make a beginning. And I am an optimist. With all this, I think a day will come that India will also can think of going into a government office, getting things done without paying money, without paying corruption money. I want you to take up leadership wherever you are, not only in politics, you are in business, whether you are in industry, wherever you are. You must be a good engineer, a good manager, but also a good citizen. And when I always used to tell, when India leads the world, VIT should lead here and you should be the leaders. Thank you.